What's going on, guys? Welcome to the off season. Heading into season number 4, we're going to go ahead and jump straight in. We're going to get started with the coaching carousel and see if any jobs come up that we might be interested in. So let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, we're going to jump right into the coaching carousel and see what offers we have. So unfortunately, LSU was one of our 10 teams that we would have accepted, but they offered the job to head coach of Southern Miss, who was 5-7 last season. I don't understand. Alright, so we are at the coordinator part of the coaching carousel, so we are going to go ahead and skip on to season 4. Looks like we will have another season at Houston. So both of our coordinators do leave for new jobs. We end up picking up Tyson Helton as our offensive coordinator and Brent Pry as the defensive coordinator. For those of you that aren't aware, Helton is in real life currently the head coach of Western Kentucky, and Brent Pry is currently the head coach of Virginia Tech. So we've got quite a few key players that are going to be leaving the team this year. In terms of juniors leaving for the draft, Uwe Ale was trying to leave. I'd convinced him to stay. But Dalton Carnes, I don't feel super confident that we can make the promises that keep the promises that we make to him. So I'm going to let him go as well to the draft. We're losing a bunch of key guys on offense and defense. We're losing Aaron Willis, our star linebacker. Brandon Campbell and Parker Jenkins both going to the draft. Lucas Coley, starting quarterback. A couple of starting O-linemen. Our offense is getting gashed. Justice Ugo, our beastly defensive back. Our kicker, Coleman Carney, is going. Joseph Donato. So losing a couple wideouts. Garfield Lawrence, who's had the national record for single season sacks last year. Another offensive lineman. Our third string running back, and Stacy Sneed. Latrell McCutcheon. This is a really big, Jalen Emery, Moses Alexander, all of our DBs basically. CJ Throckmorton, another wideout that we're losing. He was the JUCO guy that transferred. So, going to be a lot of rebuilding this season. So Willis does go in the second round. Couple third round guys with Johnson and Campbell, Dalton Carnes and Hobdy Lee. And then Lucas Coley doesn't go till the 4th round. Parker Jenkins as well. And Justice Ugo ends up going in the 6th round. So we do have a defensive end transferring from Minnesota. I'm going to try my best on this. Ladarius Folasa Latui. He's going to be a 74 overall player, freshman. So really solid get here from the transfer portal. Alright, so in terms of recruiting points, we do have 11 scholarships remaining to give out, but we're just going to split the points between David Ponder, halfback out of Louisiana, and Ken Rubino, the safety out of Ohio. And then the rest of the points are going to Isaac Clink, who is a guard. I might move some points around between Ponder and Clink because we're way ahead on Ponder. But yeah, those are the three main guys we're going for. Alright, so we do end up getting all three guys, David Ponder, Ken Rubino, and Isaac Clink. We're also going to get Connor Bonamico at defensive end. I think that's it. We get another 50 overall quarterback, but he's not going to make the team. So that's going to be it for recruiting. And we do end up signing the number 5 class in the nation. I was going to show you guys the details on these guys, but you can't look at the scouting tab after signing day, so I'm just going to have to just look at this. I mean, David Ponder, 4-star balance halfback at 6'4", 249. Basically Derrick Henry in terms of stature. We'll see about how his stats match up. Who was the other guy? It's another safety. Ken Rubino, 6'3", 214, 3-star guy. And then Isaac Clink, 6'5", 285. A little on the light side for that height, but yeah, he's going to get some playing time, I'm sure, with all these O linemen leaving the team. Nothing really to report for position changes, just moved around a couple O linemen. That's pretty much it. So Uwe did progress to a 95, so that's really good. Joseph Manjack is going to go up to a 99. CJ Nelson, 85. Miles Ray and Justin Brooks, a couple guys that we recruited season 1. These guys are up to an 81 and a 78. Matt Burns is up to a 90. He's going to be a redshirt senior this year. Cody Urban, redshirt freshman, is going to be a 70. So starting O-line, we've got David Ndukwe, redshirt senior. I'm not sure if we're going to be starting this guy or not. These are all the... This doesn't include the true freshmen on this because it's just the progression screen, but 95 overall, Demetrius Hunter at center. 83, Tyler Driscoll at right guard, a guy that we recruited. Davon Smith, redshirt freshman as well. So that's kind of what the O-line's looking like, apart from the true freshmen. So we'll see what those guys, how those guys line up against these. Some good progression at defensive end. Colton Barton goes up to an 85, and Brian Dixon is up to a 91. And then at D tackle, we have 100 D tackles, but we've got just plenty of depth here. Looks like Taylor Caggiano is going to be our starting left outside linebacker at a 75 overall, which is not particularly great. But we do get TJ Ellis to come back as well. He's going to be at 87 this year. He was a stud for us last year. And Trey Ryan is right now the highest outside linebacker on the right side, but I'm pretty sure we have a true freshman that's higher than that, so I'll take a look at that at the depth chart and update you guys. And Damian Kaba, sophomore, goes up to a 92. Lawrence Mazuka, we got up to an 83. Deshaun Akocha is at an 81. Dorian Friends at an 81. And Chris Hare-Griffin is at a 73. Malik Fleming's up to an 89. And I think that's it for progression, so we'll go ahead and move ahead. Looks like we actually don't need to cut any players because we're at 68 out of 70. So this 50 overall quarterback gets to stay on the team. Not going to make any changes to the conferences or anything like that, so we are going to go ahead and move on to the preseason. We're going to quickly go over the depth chart here. Obviously, Uli is going to be our starter at quarterback, followed by Nick Harvickson. True freshman Alan Samuel Jr. is going to be the starter at halfback, followed by Benny Faison, who is a redshirt freshman. And then David Ponder, we didn't put a redshirt on, the big 6'4", 249 guy. He's going to be third string. Fred Lawrence comes back at fullback. Here's the wide receiver room. Joseph Manjack is at a 99. We went over all these guys' progression, but Manjack, Nelson, Brian Miller, Miles Ray, Justin Brooks, Jeremy Smith. That's kind of the lineup there. Tight end, we've got Matt Burns and Cody Urban, followed by Fred Lawrence in the third spot. So here's the starting O-line. We've got David Ndukwe, Joel Reeves, Demetrius Hunter, Tyler Driscoll, and backup center Cross Tucker is going to be starting at right tackle because our right tackle is like a 71 overall, so that's going to be how that goes. At defensive end, we've got Colton Barton and Brian Dixon, followed by D tackle, we've got Anthony Holmes, Sean Heflin, and Ben Sills. Taylor Caggiano is going to be our starting outside linebacker. TJ Ellis in the middle with help from Taven Lebowitz, and Jake Garrett on the other side. So outside linebacker, kind of a weakness, but hopefully the rest of the team can give them a boost. Defensive back, we got Damian Kaba and Lawrence Mazuka, two guys that we recruited earlier on, and also Akocha that we recruited, Dorian Friend and Chris Hare-Griffin. Malik Fleming is going to be starting free safety, and true freshman Devondrick Lewis is going to be the starting strong safety at a 76 overall. And then we've got our new kicker Adam Wales and Brett Jeters at punter. And lastly, we're going to have CJ Nelson returning kicks and punts this year. I think that's it for the depth chart, so we're going to go ahead and move on. So just like last year, we've got some big marquee games out of conference scheduled for the start of the season. We've got Texas A&M, number 11 in the preseason polls, in the Dukes Mayo Classic neutral site game for week 2. In week 3, we are on the road at the Big House against number 12 Michigan. And then week 4, we are at home against number 9 North Carolina. And then we just jump into conference play. Similar stuff to what you've seen in the past seasons. I don't think we have anybody on here that we haven't played before at some point in this series in terms of conference play. So BYU on the road is a team that we've only played in the Big 12 championship game a couple years ago. So yeah, that's going to be it for the schedule. Alright, quick overview of recruiting here in the preseason. Our team needs this year, we need to pick up 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and 1 center. We don't really have any team needs on defense, but outside linebacker is kind of a weakness for us, so that's a position we're definitely looking to improve on. Same with safety if possible, both positions. In terms of guys that are interested in our school, like we're number 1 on, Davin London is scouted up to an 86 overall. Really good block shedding in terms of power moves. Tackling is okay. Really good hit power, pursuit, and play recognition. Definitely a guy we're going to be going for. Hunter Jurigo is a bust. Iendi Sharp is a bust, sort of. -5 is not good, but might still go for him. Micah Johnson at guard was a bust. We'll see. Bobby Richards is a guy that went up +12 from a 75 to an 87. And we're first place on him, so definitely a guy we're going for. Hunter Van Manen is another guy we're going to be going for. We do need a center, but we don't really have any centers interested, so we can just recruit this guy and make him play center. And then another outside linebacker, Trevor Hawker, scouted +18 from a 71 to an 89. He has 99 acceleration, 91 hit power, 87 pursuit. Just a beast, and he's got us at the top of his list as well. So Tyree Smith is another gem that we found, +8 at strong safety. He's going to be a guy that we go for. And then that's all we had points to scout for, really. There was a couple of guys in the team needs section that we scouted. Actually, we scouted all these guys. Tony Sangster's an 82 overall receiver. We're not on his radar right now, but we might be able to sneak in there. Receiver's going to be a tough one to fill because we had a lot of busts, and a guy like Patrick Myers, we're 3rd on his list, but we're way behind. He's up to well, it doesn't show you the percentages here, but usually when you're that far behind, they're pretty locked in on the top 1 or 2 teams. But in terms of tight end, Gerard Williams went down 16 points. We're 2nd on his list. 70 overall still okay, but probably looking more for a guy like Tarhi Butler, who we're already 1st on his list. He's scouted up 3 points, a little more upside probably. And then Nate Greenberg at center is a guy that we're not on his radar, but we might put some points towards him and see how we trend on his interests. So yeah, that's kind of the overview for recruiting this offseason. So we will keep you guys updated as always on commitments and stuff throughout the season. So that's going to be it for the offseason for leading into season 4. We will see you guys in the next one where we jump into week 1 and 2.